Considering the current market dynamics, with it being a little volatile, what are your projections for the real estate market in the near future? Are there areas in Shasta County at risk for a value decline due to market saturation?
What do you mean by market saturation?
Shasta County at risk of value decline due to market saturation. I think
Too many listings?
Yeah, we don't really have a lot of listings.
Right.
Actually, not a very good question because
Well,
don't really have.
it's a bigger question on where do you think values are, and we're coming into a period where the Fed is pretty much telegraphed. Maybe not in March, but maybe May. He's going to start lowering them.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's going to help a lot in the big picture long term. However, in the short period, every time, if he lowers it a quarter point 4 times in a row, that's that many people that are going to get off the fence.
correct. Yeah,
And so we'll see a good little bump, I would think, this year when that happens. Yeah.
I would agree with what you're saying. If they do lower the rates, the affordability to get better.
Yes.
And there is quite a bit of demand of people that need housing. The average first-time home buyer age is about 36, and there's a lot of millennials, 30 to 36 years old. There's a lot of them that need housing, and affordability is a big challenge.
Affordability has always been a challenge. I remember when I first bought a house, and
very good point.
You've bought many houses in your life.
Yeah.
Did you ever buy it based on what the interest rate was? It was more of a life change.
Correct.
It's
That's
okay,
true.
I can afford a house now, I'm going to buy it. Or I got married and we're having a kid, I want to buy a house.
Yeah, that's true.
The interest rate determined how much house you could buy, not if you could buy a house.
When I bought my first house, I was a first-time buyer. It was very scary.
Yeah.
I was 21 years old. I was living with my parents, and my parents were like, "You're making some good money." I was working at Verizon Wireless, and I was making like 20, 25 bucks an hour at the time. And they're like, "You need to buy a house." I was like, "Okay." I hadn't ever paid rent or anything. My mortgage, I was making like $2,500 a month. Was my income. And my mortgage payment was like $1,200. I took a little bit of a leap. I did it. What happened is my income continued to increase. Interest rates dropped. So a year later, I refinanced, and my payment, I got my payment down like $900 and something a month. And so it just
got easier and easier.
And that's the thing that first-time buyers, sometimes it's hard to look at that because it's a fixed payment. And if I was to continue to rent, that rent's going to continue to go up every single year. As a mortgage payment, it was fixed.
Yeah, I was reading an article and having a discussion, and we were, I wouldn't say making fun of the younger generation, but commenting how they whine about affordability.
Yeah.
And we were like, you know what? When we were that age,
That's so true.
we had the exact same debt-to-income ratios as they did.
Wow.
One thing that was pointed out, though, that's unique for them, we didn't have $5 coffees and $50 lunches and things like that.
Yes. Yeah.
So it is harder on them.
Yeah.
But
That's
those
true.
are things you can cut back and make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The whole inflation things with the cost of groceries and the cost of everything else, it's hard.
Yeah,
It really is.
absolutely.
It's really hard. So the broad answer to that question is what I'm hearing you say is that you don't really see anything much change other than it could improve, when rates do come back down.
That would be what I would think,
Yeah.
yes.
And we haven't seen, I honestly, I don't know the numbers for Shasta County, and what you're saying is pretty much flat across the board for last year.
Yeah.
But I know nationwide for last year, we're probably going to be around 5% nationwide appreciation, 5 to 6%.
For this 24?
2023.
23, okay, for 23, yeah.
We just got the numbers from tonight showing appreciation for December was 0.1%, 10.1% for the month. So for the year ended up at like around 5%, 5 to 6%, depending on if it's CoreLogic.
You did see CoreLogic's prediction for Reading for 24.
I saw that. You saw that too. So Reading
Makes you feel good.
Yeah, Reading. Yeah, we were number one on the list for CoreLogic prediction of 7%. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. I can see that happening by June and then being flat the rest of the year. 5 to 7% can happen in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And it does happen in a heartbeat.